Turning now to the Middle East, where for the first time since a ceasefire took effect last week, Hezbollah has fired projectiles into a disputed border region in southern Lebanon. The militant group says it was a warning shot for what it called repeated Israeli violations of the truce. No one was reported hurt. Israel responded with its own airstrikes in retaliation hours later. A Lebanese official accused Israel today of breaching the ceasefire more than 50 times in recent days with strikes and other provocations. Despite that, a State Department spokesperson said the ceasefire is working and that claims of violations are being investigated.
Broadly speaking, it has been successful in stopping the fighting. Now, with respect to violations or potential violations of the ceasefire, we set a mechanism up to look into this very question, where the United States, along with France, will engage with the Israeli military, will engage with the Lebanese military to look at potential violations.
The Biden administration is preparing another $725 million in weapons assistance for Ukraine. That's on top of more than $680 million in weapons that German Chancellor Olaf Scholz announced today during a surprise visit to Kyiv. It was his first visit to the Ukrainian capital in more than 2 years. The trip comes after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky recently criticized Scholz for speaking to Russian President Vladimir Putin back in November about opening negotiations to end the war. In Kyiv today, Scholz emphasized solidarity.
My very clear message from Kyiv to Putin: we're in this for the long haul, and we will stand by Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Germany is Ukraine's second largest backer behind only the U.S. The Biden administration has surged aid to Ukraine and eased weapons restrictions during the last months of the president's term. The incoming Trump administration has signaled it will rethink U.S. aid to Ukraine. More than 200 people have been detained in the country of Georgia amid demonstrations now going into their fifth night. Tens of thousands of people gathered in the capital of Tbilisi this evening in protest of the pro-Russian government's decision to suspend negotiations to join the European Union. More than 100 police officers have been injured in clashes with demonstrators. It's all unfolding after October elections that were seen as a referendum on joining the EU. Georgia's opposition says the vote was rigged by Moscow. There is turnover in the top jobs at two major companies. Tonight, the world's fourth largest automaker, Stellantis, owner of brands like Jeep, Ram, Chrysler, and Dodge, is one of them. CEO Carlos Tavares is stepping down after nearly 4 years in the role after trying to steer the company back to profitability. But Stellantis has struggled with slumping sales and rising pressure from auto workers at plants in the U.S. and abroad. And the CEO of chipmaker Intel has retired in a surprise announcement. Pat Gelsinger started at Intel more than 40 years ago before becoming chief executive in 2021. The semiconductor manufacturer has struggled financially to keep up with rival NVIDIA.